Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. What's the greatest gift that humans have? It's our imagination. It's a gift we can use to go anywhere and do anything we want. We use this gift very well and without doubting its power until about the age of 4 or 5. We used it to build beautiful pictures in our minds of things we wanted to do, places we wanted to go. We even saw ourselves with special powers when we were children. How many of you actually used to put a blanket down the back of your shirt and run around in the front yard pretending you were Superman? You could fly. You could leap tall buildings in a single bound. It was all here, but it was real, and you could do it. And that all starts to change when we go to school. Then we have teachers and other well-meaning adults who scold us for using our imagination. They say, pay attention, or stop daydreaming. And whatever adults tell us as children, we normally do. So we stop fantasizing and start focusing on their mundane world. Now we're focused on schoolwork, chores, looking after brothers and sisters, things that they tell us we should be focusing on. And as we grow into adolescence and young adulthood, instead of fantasizing about things we want, we start using our imagination in a much different way. We start to imagine our greatest fears and worries coming true. I think Tom Petty said it best when he said, most of the things that I worry about never happen anyway. And isn't that true? Most of the things that you've thought would probably happen to you, we always imagine the worst. And, inevitably we usually, for the most part, end up okay. And we never observe those worries that come through as a result of us overthinking. And as children, we're fascinated by the lives led by adults. But it's weird because once we grow up, we wish we could ditch all the complications and just go back to being kids again, right? And although both are irrational thoughts or ideas, we can reawaken the little child within us, no matter how old we are. And when we do, we can use our imagination to block out what's happening in our life today and build an imaginary world in our minds of how we want to live. And that's where we need to start, you see, because not only do you have a powerful imagination as a kid, but you also likely have less self-judgment as a child. And that's a potent combination when you have good imagination and you're not constantly judging yourself. Kids have little sense of what they can do, but they have little sense of what can't be done. So they take risks, continue to move forward, and in my opinion, if we could live our lives as children, we'd have much more success. And the good news is, you don't have to be so different as an adult. You just have to remember to fall in line with how you were as a child when you used your imagination. And it's perfectly fine. And I'm going to give you a few ways here of how you can reconnect with that childlike mind and get your imagination re-engaged. Remember, everything that has ever occurred in the world, or anything physical that has ever manifested itself in anybody's life, at one point in time was just an idea. It was an imaginary place. When they want to build a skyscraper, they imagine how tall it's going to be. They imagine the floors, what they'll look like. They imagine who they're going to hire to build that skyscraper. Or when you want to start a business, you imagine where your business is, what the location is going to look like, who you're going to hire, who will your customers be. You see, using your imagination is where everything begins. And it's also how you bring things into your life that are positive and good and in relation to the goals and the dreams that you have for your life. And you need to get re-engaged with that imagination. And I think one way that you can do that is get curious and ask good questions. Albert Einstein said the important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity is on its own has its reason for existing. And I believe in that. I think that's a very good quote. Children are naturally curious, constantly learning and continuously stretching, bringing more of themselves to the surface Be beautiful if we could do more of that as adults, right? They have no experience to base their decisions on, so they ask questions and explore the world to find out how things work and how far they can push themselves. Be more curious about life instead of thinking you already know everything, and stop asking the same old questions. Those questions come from old repetitive thoughts you have every day. Ask new questions, think of new things, become more open-minded and start to explore more. Create new ideas as a child would, and ask questions that will generate ideas that will lead you somewhere you've never gone before. Make it a point to learn something new every single day. And I'm going to ask you to do something else. You want to build success in your life, you want to build big ideas and enhance your creativity. Be a child and play pretend. Pretend you're happy when you're sad. Pretend you're a wealthy, successful, loving, generous person you want to be. Or pretend your heart is glowing and connected to everyone else. Find different ways to have an imaginative play and use imagination as a more central role in your daily life. It'll change everything. It's perfectly okay to play pretend. It's where everything starts. And when you tell yourself something often enough, you're going to start to believe it. So if you tell yourself you're successful and you pretend that you are successful and you have ideas in your mind and you build this world, this dream world of all the amazing things you want to bring into your life, that's where you start. That's the perfect start to bringing things into your life and building an incredible existence for yourself. And when you do this, it's going to enable you to take more risks. And it's funny because when we're children, rules don't define us. And so we're very adventurous. We have no fear and are huge risk takers. You remember being a child? You'd run fast, climb high, strike up conversations with anything. If something looked interesting, you wanted to get involved. Helen Keller said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." I completely agree, because many of the greatest lessons and most fun you receive in life are going to come from taking risks and being adventurous. And you may avoid falling or failing and suffering or sorrow if you don't take risk. But I'm telling you, if you don't take risk, you cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, or live fully. So I want you to reach out to someone new. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to build new relationships with others. Whatever it is you really want, go for the life you really want. You never know where any of it can lead. You never know where that conversation with that stranger might go. They may be the one that you actually needed to meet, be kind to, and they have the ability to bring to fruition opportunities that were going to help you build an amazing circumstance and an incredible life for you and your family. And it all just came from being adventurous, a risk taker, be a little bit more outgoing, be kind to others, strike up conversations, take a few chances. I tell you what, you just never know where it can lead. It's amazing. When you take a new road and do something new, you're going to get different results in your life than you're getting today. Everything you're getting, all the results you're getting in your life right now are a direct result of everything you do. And if you look back over the past few days, you probably did a lot of the same stuff. You get into a routine. It's not your fault, but as children, we don't have routines like that for the most part. We're pretty adventurous. Hey, this looks good. I'm going to go there. Hey, I'm going to try this. Wonder what that tastes like. Hey, they look like a nice person. I'm going to talk to them. You see, these are all attributes that just tend to melt away because we have to be mature and be adults and take on responsibility and all that crap. Well, that's all good stuff, but that's not how we build the life that we want. And most people who have grown up and become mature adults who live with responsibility don't live the true lives that they really want to live. They don't drive the car they want to drive. They don't live in the house they want to live in. They don't work at the job or own the business that they want to have. And you know what? So that's kind of throws maturity and all that out the window. Let's try to be children. Let's act like we did when we were kids and be adventurous. Take risks. I'm telling you, you just never know where it might go. And it just all starts with our imagination. This is free. It doesn't cost you anything to use this. You can sit at your desk all day long and build a beautiful circumstance for yourself. You know what? You do that often enough, your subconscious mind's going to start taking action on it. You're going to change the way you think. The way you act and things you do is going to slowly migrate towards the thoughts you entertain in your mind. You build the world you want here, you'll have the world you want here. And you know, stop worrying about what other people think as well. Do you remember when you were a child? You know, if the child likes something, they throw themselves into it entirely. They don't give a damn what anyone else thinks. They laugh, sing, dance, hide under the table at a restaurant. They just do anything they want. And you know what? They live with a certainty that their actions are going to provide them immediate pleasure. And as adults, we worry about looking foolish. And I'm telling you right now, I don't give a damn what other people think about me. I dance with my children. I'm not under the table, neither are my kids, but I want to be. I want to do things like that. I want to be adventurous. I want to live outside of the box. I want to do new things. I want to try new things. And you know what? When we were kids, that didn't bother us at all. So you want to let your inner child lead the way and dance like nobody's watching. Let go once in a while and do things that'll wind up scaring you and exciting you at the same time. You know what? It's going to make you happy to jump out of bed each morning knowing that there's a new adventure awaiting you. And it's all right here. You know, we get into this mature space where I need to behave this way because I'm an adult and this is what adults do and I'm not a child. And you know what? Let's throw all that crap out the window. Turn the music up in the house. Dance around the house. Sing like it's your song. Sing as loud as you can. Be free and take risks so you can live a fantastic life. You know, it's going to bring so much happiness, so much creativity to your life. You're going to love yourself and you're going to love the environment that you create for yourself. It's going to allow you to be more creative because, you know, children don't know how things are supposed to be done. They make things up, coming up with their own unique ways of interpreting and creating the world around them. And this freedom leads to new solutions, creative outlets, and wonderfully expressive art. You know, I love some of the art that my children did when they were young. They would bring me a picture of something. They'd have to tell me what it was, but as soon as they told me, I completely knew, and I loved the creativity. And they continue down that path, doing crafts and things like that. It's something I really love about my kids. They have this innate ability to just turn this creative button on and utilize their imaginations to build fantastic worlds, ideas, and scenarios that really makes it fun to interact with them. It's one of the things I love about being a father is that I have these wonderfully creative children, but they bring out some of that in me as well, and they enhance me. And that's what I like about being a father, is that my family actually makes me better. And you know, every child is an artist. What kind of art would your inner child create today? You know, maybe you want to make time to do something creative at least once a week. Your skill doesn't matter. You know, maybe you could color. I know there's a lot of adult coloring books out there. Get yourself some Crayola crayons, sit down, and color. It's amazing. It's so relaxing to sit down and color, and it brings happiness. It's impossible to sit down and color a beautiful picture that you colored yourself without smiling. And even as an adult, it's so easy to get in touch with your inner child by just doing something simple like that. And it doesn't matter if you're good at it or not. You know, the point is to be consistent in reawakening your creativity or find unexpected creative outlets that you never knew would bring you joy. try new things. Maybe you've thought, hey, I'm going to try painting. I don't think I'm a good artist, but I want to try it. Go give it a shot, because you know what? It's amazing. I tried painting not too long ago. I was horrible at it, but you know what? It brought me so much joy and I loved it. Go and try some new things. I think they even have creative painting centers you can go to where it's also a wine store. So, you know, something like that maybe. And I just want to say that when you were a young child, your parents or teachers may have stifled your imagination and creativity by telling you you couldn't do something you really wanted to do. You know, and it's a shame, because maybe they said you'd never be a lawyer, you'd never be a singer, you couldn't be an entrepreneur, you know, you don't have the resources to make that happen, or whatever it was that you longed to be. You know, when I was a child, I had somebody very important in my life that would always tell me I had pipe dreams. You know, I'd say, I want to own a business. I want to do this. I want to go to a Ivy League college. I want to do all these things. And they would constantly tell me, you know, you have the greatest pipe dreams, Doug. Or, you know, oh, there's Doug talking about his pipe dreams again. You know, and so I'm a child, you know, and when you're a child, you obey people and believe what they say when they're adults. And you learn to let your dreams go. You know, but you are, and always have been, tapped into the energy that is creative, that's within you, that allows you to step outside the box and do these beautiful, unimagined things. You know, and it's funny because when an exciting idea comes to mind, you have a choice of keeping it alive by letting your imagination flow, or you can dismiss it and remain stuck in fear. You know, trusting that perfection resides within you is the key. You know, and never say or think you're too old for anything. You know, somebody that is that's 87 years old once said to me, you know, I'm getting older and I don't set new goals that stretch me anymore. And I said, you know, I'm 48 years old and I can't set enough goals. I know I'm not going to have enough time in my life to be able to achieve everything I want to. So I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And I'm telling you, I love to learn and do things that I've never experienced before. And as adults, we tend to let complacency, security, and boredom set in. But not kids. They don't do that. They have the instinct to fight boredom, and in that respect, children are great actors. They'll take the most mundane things and make them into an adventure. You know, they put life into an extraordinary area that adults seem to lose, and I just don't understand that. But what I am going to recommend you do, friends, take a hint from your younger self, do some acting, build an image of how you want to live, then act like the person you want to become. Like a child, you're going to be really surprised and delighted by what happens. And I tell you what, it's going to help you build an incredible life. Everything was once an idea. Get creative. Use your imagination. Build the circumstance you want. It's going to change everything for you, and all you have to do is just think it into being. Now, I'm not saying this is magic where you're going to think it and it's just going to manifest and, you know, a la peanut butter jelly sandwiches, here it is. But I'm saying the way the mind works, any idea that you impress upon your mind, that you accentuate, feared or revered, will immediately begin to clothe itself in the most convenient way possible. It's important that we use our imaginations to focus on positive, be happy, dance around, smile. Build a world in your mind that resembles exactly where you want to live, how you want to exist, that includes all the things that you want. Start taking action against those dreams, and I'm telling you what, they'll start coming into your life. It's amazing. It's just that action, taking the action towards your goals, walking down the path towards the destination that brings things into your life and creates an amazing circumstance that will make you happy and give you a better life for you and your family. Friends, try your imagination out today. You may have forgotten that you have it. You know, as adults, we get busy, we get into the day-to-day, and we forget we have this wonderful machine on our shoulders here. This thing right here can think. It has the ability to build any life circumstance that you want. You can build it out in detail and then start taking action towards creating it in your life, because you're worth it. You're going to do it. I know you will. Just give it a shot today. Sit down. Do what they told you not to do. Go unfocused. Daydream. Build that world. Build that circumstance in your mind. And I tell you what, it's going to bring incredible happiness. And it's going to take you one step closer towards building the life that you want. I care about you. I believe in you. Hey, thanks for listening to me ramble today. It's just, I had all these wonderful ideas. We'd had a great conversation last night, and I thought, you know, we do need to live our lives as children. We need to use that imagination to build a creative circumstance. Let's dance, let's love, let's live life the way children do. There's no reason why we can't do that as adults. Children are happy. They love circumstances that would probably drive us as adults crazy. But let's get in touch with that childlike behavior, that child that's still living in our hearts, because we all have that same person within us. We just have some new ideas that have been put on top of that old, beautiful childlike behavior. Let's brush that aside. Let's act as if we're children. Let's take risks as if we're children. Let's build the life circumstance that we truly want. Because if anybody can do it, you can. I believe in you, and I know that you're going to take the right steps. You're on your way, friend. You're going to have a beautiful life, and it's going to be wonderful. I can't wait to hear all about it and see it. Take the step today. Let's just try to be children and be the best that we can be as adults, okay? I care about you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some really great stuff. Take care.